I think I might just put a knife in it.
I think that's a really good idea.
See if it works. Oh yes, it goes in beautifully.
Granny gang, granny gang, granny gang, granny gang. I'm here to mug unsuspecting ponces and to feed my grandkids. And I'm all out of grandkids. Bit late for an April Fool's special, but hey, we're doing this. And so, can you beat Fallout New Vegas with an army of grannies? Today's youth have no respect. Back in my day, when we wanted to shoot someone in the head, we'd even throw in an entire monologue before doing it. We'd get it done, and only then would we tell the story, over and over. Anyways, a tickle to the brain and a weird dream later, and Katie Clara's no longer cut content. It also turns out it's quite hard to make the courier look old. As for the stats, I'm gonna go with the ones that every single one of Mod's muggers have, except the courier has an extra 5 special. So I'm just gonna one-up whatever I feel like. That leaves us with 8 strength, 7 endurance and agility, 5 intelligence and luck, and 4 in perception and charisma. The tagged skills are also the same for all of Mod's muggers: melee, unarmed, and repair. The traits are up to me, and I'm choosing heavy-handed and wild wasteland, and the rules are simple. 1. We recruit grannies. 2. We mug unsuspecting ponces. And 3. The only grannies that I can bring to hoover them are the original Mod's muggers. Preference-wise, I'll stick to rolling pins, knives, and switchblades for most of the run, but not all of it. I can choose one unique melee weapon as long as it's something that I haven't used in a challenge yet. As for armor, I cannot use any. The only clothes that Katie Clara can use are pre-war to fit the original grannies. And when I looked at their inventory, and Mod's muggers really love cigarettes and bottle caps, so if I see it, I take it. I'll also take everything that's useful from Doc Mitchell's house and the whole of Good Springs. Stim packs, knives, magazines, skill books, just not that sweet stealth boy. I don't have the skill to get it. On the way to the saloon, Easy P tells me that he's been single for a while. Taken back by the lack of grandmas in Good Springs, I go on to meet Sunny. She shows me how to shoot bottles. All that does is remind me of arthritis, and Joe Mama's done being nice.
I'm done being nice.
Trudy, she's surprised that helping Ringo flee from the powder gangers made the powder gangers stick around. So I look back at my moral compass, and the decision is simple. Fuck that. What I'm gonna do is repair her radio and hope that Mr. New Vegas rediscovers The Price is Right. We got a bit of fame. I'm not gonna start mugging before recruiting me a bit of a baking club. Chat buy some of the things I wouldn't be able to use, and in the cemetery I visit the old apartment. I think the snow globe's there to mark Doc Mitchell's wife's grave. We do love trinkets, and most importantly, we have confirmed that this town's useless to us. No grannies, and all the worthy valuables didn't need muggings, just the good old 5-finger discounts. Before I leave, I make sure to meet Ringo, and the young chap hands me a deck of caravan cards. Not that I have the patience to spend time with him, I just came here to loot some more. As the journey begins, I see a pole that seems to be an Oblivion Easter egg, or a Fallout 3 one. Since the same pole appears in Fallout 3's Big Town, then Indiana Jones is feeling a bit under the weather, and Barton Thorne thinks I'm stupid.
My girl is trapped by geckos on the ridge, and I can't get to her.
Yeah, well, and my knife's trapped by Barton's lies on his back. Not, but I did get another one. I also remembered to check the ruined building near Gene Skydiving, and on the dressers we get our first pre-war outfit. Mod's muggers, I'll use spring outfits, but the park stroller one will have to do for now. Beggars cannot be choosers. And if you're still thinking, that ain't a granny, shut up, just pretend she's Asian, it's an RPG, good genetics. I tried, man, I just didn't want to install mods. Even though I'm gonna use one for the grannies. I already had that one. Next up, Sloan. Chomps warns us about the dangers of going north, but why would I listen to a guy named Chomps? And here's Snuffles! She's a cutie! One that's gonna keep on limping, but a cutie nevertheless. I got both skill magazines, the caps they had laying around, and made my way to Neil's shack.
This is a dangerous place, human, especially for your kind.
Don't you worry, Neil, I'll be fine. In fact, the Mojave is about to become even more dangerous because of my kind. Plus, going through hills and avoiding deathclaws is nothing compared to what I had to go through back in the day going on my way to school. From here, I just gotta jump on a certain rock, sneak, and we can already see the Lucky 38 on the distance. From the moment I reach Repcon, I know we're safe until we get to Freeside. I got some crisps from Cassidy Caravan Wreckage, get to level 2. Put the points into melee and take on the Black Widow perk. In the Gun Runners, the Vendortron buys the things that I don't need, and we reach Freeside, where a thug gets it all wrong. I do the mugging over here. So I take care of him, and I even got a switchblade for my troubles. I then help the kid that really wanted a giant rat for dinner.
Thanks, lady.
You're welcome, sweetie. In the old Mormon forts, I get the snow globe from Julie Farkas's bedroom, buy all the stimpaks that I can, and I try my best not to make a snarky remark on that stupid haircut. Kids these days. Then I take a nap in one of their tents to make it daytime, and I go on to visit Cerulean Robotics. I took care of the rats the old-fashioned way, and outside we meet some familiar faces.
Lucky what we have here, ladies. Another unsuspecting ponce.
And naturally, if I'm going to lead an army of grannies, I'm gonna need some help to make some chaos.
Butter.
Sugar.
Eggs.
Milk.
Flour.
Baking powder.
Cocoa powder.
And just like that, the Marble Cake Mugging Club gang squad for the Mojave's grannies have been born.
Honey.
Yogurt.
Guys, no, that's it. I don't need any more.
Flour.
We already had flour.
Nuts.
Baking soda.
Powder. We already had.
Eggs.
I'll let y'all finish.
Cream cheese.
Okay, are we done?
Flour.
Flour.
Cookies. Well, yeah, okay, somehow this is my fault now. Anyways, we dunked ham, so a flappuccino session later, and we're ready to take over Freeside.
The king controls the water pump. If you want water, you need to pay like everyone else.
The pimp controls whatever we let him control, and I say he controls nothing. I'll also simply not pay for anything that I can mug. Short story shorter, Topper got a couple taps. Freeside's now shunning me even though I did them a favor, and I go on to sip on the sweet taste of victory. Then Oras is busy ripping off a gambler and the kings once again try to extort me. I'm not really a fan of competition, so I'ma show him that these weren't blueberry stains on my face.
Give me all your cap. Whoa, I'm sorry. I didn't know it was you. Please don't hurt me. I've got a wife and kids and pets and stuff.
I don't give a damn about you, your wife, kids, or stuff. Every time I mug someone, I demand tributes, and anyone who refuses gets mugged twice. Auras refused. So this time, I make a nice little cocktail. Moonshine, medics, buff-outs, and the backstabbing. This cooking club knows the best recipes, and they all start with beating until smooth. As for the thug and the king's member, they're nothing to worry about. Oh fuck, sorry Ruth. Hopefully she's not gonna hold any resentment. The gambler and Gennaro followed suit, and as for the followers, I'm gonna let them be. Julie's gonna heal my chem addiction, and that's that. Grannies love doctors, and grannies might need doctors. It's a no-brainer. Another thug tries to mug me, and we haven't even gone to the ambush yet. I took swift care of him and of the vagrants, and see a gentleman trying to lure us to an alley. Great minds think alike. I put them on permanent timeout, and everything these little shits owned is mine now. I got me another switchblade, hit level 3, and improved my melee weapon skill.
Hungry? Thirsty? Horny? The Atomic Wrangler has you covered.
Ooh, don't mind if I do. In the Atomic Wrangler, our reputation precedes us, but James, he's got a job for us. We need to find a smooth talker, a cowboy ghoul, and a sex bot. Might as well give that a go, since Fisto's a neighbor and pimpin' ain't easy. For a change, this thug-infested slum is trying to mug someone else. Old Ben. We pair up to defeat the thugs, he gives us some advice, and we discover that, amongst other things, he used to be an escort.
I was damn good at my job, too. But after a while, I just felt like a piece of meat and had to quit.
Think of the grannies, Ben!
I never put much thought into the well-being my clients got out of my services.
Hell yeah! As for Beatrix, I don't have the skills to convince her. Or the interest to see her around in the Wrangler. To make things worse, Ralph.
I don't deal with dirtbags. Take a walk.
He's not going to program the holotape, which means Fisto's out of the menu as well. Great. So I killed him. And that finally earned me a pre-war spring outfit. Nice. Mick was also put to sleep. We're finally looking the part, and I'm looting everything of value that they own. Back to the Garretts, I got some money, and it might not be bingo, but that's fine, cause these grannies are into blackjack. I lost 21 caps. To recoup my losses, we're gonna show the kings that Freeside's got a new owner, the queens. So we started hacking, walking and smacking, mostly slashing. Pacers have hate crime, Rancorous Ruth said hi, and Rex, he's a very naughty boy. Sturdy like a motherfucker too. Well, now that I know that it's a really bad idea to go one-on-one against Rex, it's obvious. We just gotta gang up on him. Eventually, the bad boy goes down, and so does Sergio. I get Figaro, hit level 4, keep improving melee, and take on the educated perk. As for the king, when I found him, one of the other grannies had already told him to stay off our lawn, and all we're missing is the groupies.
We never get to go to Gamora anymore.
We never get to go to Gamora. Tell you what, how about you go wherever the king is now? And this gave me a really good or bad idea. You decide. I had to. I realized that the grannies are picking up whatever weapons they so choose. To be honest, I didn't think of that, but now I want to go with it. In the New Vegas medical clinic, I barter with Dr. Uzanagi for stim packs, and we decide to go on vacation through the Mojave for a bit. Near Prim, as I was waiting to make it daytime, Malcolm fucking Holmes has a panic attack after realizing that he's an NPC that cannot jump. With empathy, we jump him. We get some caps and...
Hey, where the hell do you think you're going? Prim is off limits.
We're still going. I'm also not gonna pick up a fight with the NCR. They help keeping up the status quo, and who else is gonna pay for my retirement? If not, the citizens of the New California Republic. I don't think that's a thing, but hey, I'm role-playing. Most importantly, who'd we be able to mug without them? Deathclaws? And so I've been thinking, maybe the name Marble Cake Mugging Club Gang Squad for the Mojave's Grannies is a bit too long, so here's a list of other ideas that I have. Let me know which one's your favorite. Neve for Speed, Yeast Ghost Gang, the Crockpot Cartel, Meat and Squash, the Holy Roaming Empire, and the Post-Moist Horde. Anyways, we're kicking the escaped convict's ass, Courier 4. Daniel Wyand had a really bad day, and Ruby's casserole is amazing. We've gotta find her. She wasn't in the Bison Steve Hotel, and these convicts need to be reminded that the elderly deserve respect. If we have to beat it out of them, then so be it. The last convict was so baffled he didn't even know what to say or do. We got some purified water and booze for the journey. The hotel's food look awful though.
I don't suppose you came here to rescue me. I'd cross my fingers, but my hands are numb.
Nope, just here to mug. And while I didn't shoot the sheriff, I did stop the deputy. Repeatedly. On him, a holotape reminds me that, yeah, Benny. I'll have to mug him too. In the Vicky and Vance casino, an extremely concussed courier briefly and vaguely remembers doing a job for the Mojave Express. A life without mugging? Ew. Most importantly, we meet Ruby.
Bye.
Her tone of voice, her magnum, her culinary prowess, we need her. She knows that grannies stick together, well, it's more of an offer she cannot refuse. And since I had some spring outfits in my inventory, I gift her one and Prim's about to fall. Also, to be honest, I wasn't sure if I should have gone for mods muggers only or an army of grannies. But I have been planning this for a late April's Fool's special, and more chaos seemed more absurd. Something else that I'm not sure of is whatever challenge you'd like to see next, so let me know in the comments and may the best idea get to the top. And to be fair, I don't expect to gain much from mugging Prim, but they've got a couple safes here in the casino, and loot's loot. Ruby didn't seem to mind becoming a widow. Prim slims bulky, but he's beyond Fallout 4 Ibot levels of useless. He cannot fight back. Right after, to the left of Ivan Padrai Lake lies Jackrabbit Springs. Over here we can get a free stealth boy, a weapon repair kit, and some ammo. All there for the taking, and all you gotta do is outrun some sad slugs, although for some reason, and for the first time, I didn't see any centaurs. Approaching Nipton, Thomas and Jacqueline are doing their little thing. She's playing the victim. He's about to turn her into one, so I step in and mug them both.
Yeah! Who won the lottery? I did!
Shut up, Oliver.
God damn it! I was nodding off until you barged in here, and I don't hurt when I sleep.
I can help you with not hurting, just hey, no take backsies. I also don't appreciate when people ask me for medics in the same sentence as they tell me to fuck off, so, you know. And in the center of town, a furry is celebrating 420 Easter like they did over 2,000 years ago. Oh, and I've got my own plans for the Legion later, so... Not wanting a hit squad coming after me during the vacation, we all just nodded to Vulpes, then dipped. From here to safely reach Wolfhorn Ranch, just follow the same path the Legion goes through. That way you can avoid an ambush, rat scorpions, and a grenade launcher guy. Entering the ranch's house got me to level 5, that's more point to melee, and over here you can find another skill book and chopper. In Camp Searchlight, I have no clue where Oster is. I even waited a bit to see if he was coming back. No. For some reason, he was past the tents. Only then does he let us know that if we explore Searchlight, we'll get a free haircut. I'm more interested in free clothes. So, on the way to the next location, a couple ghoul troopers, including a glowing one, had to be put down. I passed through Sniper's Nest, and in Cottonwood Cove, I tell the Legion Explorer that we're friends with the Legion, cause I know how to lie. With Aurelius distracted, me and the gals go into his office, where we find a third set of sexy sleepwear for Moth. We look terrifying, it's awesome. Oh, and I cannot forget to visit Mrs. Weathers.
Please, ma'am, take pity on us.
No.
One of these days we'll be free.
That's not the quote, go on, say the thing.
When will we be free?
One of these days.
When will we be free?
On the way to Novak, all we had was Golden Gecko for lunch, and the first thing we see after arriving in town is Victor.
Well, butter my butt and call me a biscuit.
You're a biscuit. Now, over here we've got plenty to do. First, in Cliff Briscoe's bungalow, I will unlock my third weapon, cause atop his fridge we find a rolling pin. And in Ranger Andy's bungalow we find another skill book. I then go on to sell the things I don't need to Cliff, and looky here. We got ourselves another grandma, Daisy Whitman, a former member of the Enclave, bona fide veteran, an exquisite granny. She's coming with. I get her some more fitting apparel, we beat the ever-living shit out of Manny, that gives me another holotape to help us find Benny, and since the town isn't mad at me yet, I buy some supplies from Dr. Ada Strauss, and then the fall of Novak commences. Cliff Briscoe starts breakdancing after becoming a sacrifice, and man, we're gonna have so many rocket souvenirs and tiki T-Rexes. All for our grandkids. Hell, their grandkids are gonna be inheriting toys. I also got that gun, not that I can use it, but not just gonna let it sit pretty on a shelf. Then, Jeannie May. I don't know, man. I mean, I know she's going down. Grandmother, maybe? Grandma enough? I don't think so. She's giving 9 cats and boxed wine, and not the good kind. Funny that she's the one that sells Boone's wife, and yet I get vilified after doing everyone a favor. Speaking of Boone.
Not my fight.
Not my fight? My man, is that appreciation for what I just did? Cause Novak is your fight. Whatever. The Grannies, they tore him to pieces, and hey, it's Novak.
Who sent you? I ain't talking.
That's talking.
Confounded Nobark, you done it again.
He's getting a pass, especially cause what the hell would I be mugging? His last breath? You know, at times it might not look like it, but hey, I'm here to mug, not murder. And as soon as we leave Novak, we see Gibson's scrapyard.
Hi there.
Old, check. Certified yapper, check. Granny haircut, check. Yep, she's coming too. And we're finally looking like a granny gang. With all this grandma power, I'm not even going to avoid the Vipers. Hell, I got up close and personal so fast, they didn't even get to bring up the grenade launcher in fear of blowing themselves up. We annihilated them, and then we see a lovely young man. It seems he's in a band.
Howdy, little lady.
So polite. I like your guitar.
Oh, this old thing? Why, thanks, friend. This here guitar is just about the only thing my daddy left me.
Oh, he's a papa's boy. Sorry, kiddo. You're not getting the pass. I'm taking that guitar along with your life. And that was enough to make me vilified in the strip. That's stupid. In Boulder City, we get to annoy Private Kowalski.
What the fuck are you doing? My brother died at the Battle of Hoover Dam. You're desecrating a war memorial.
You're a little bitch and your brother was too. He's not great at math. Bit too impulsive too. But we made sure that it won't happen again. And before going to talk with the lieutenant, I made my way to Hoover Dam, where we can collect another snow globe. Monroe then goes on about having a situation with some great cons, the same ones we're after, so we offered to help.
What the hell? You're that courier Benny wasted back in Good Springs. You're supposed to be dead.
Yeah, well, I got better. He goes on to explain that Benny betrayed them, took the platinum chip, and that he's likely back at the strip laughing at the whole situation. This gets me to level 6, I max melee, put the rest of the points into medicine and take the toughness perk. I then poke Jess up and let the grannies do most of the work. Don't mind me, just making a withdrawal. This makes me vilified with the great cons. Oh no, the guys that aided the idiot that shot me in the head hate me. And we get a couple souvenirs. Outside, we destroy every single great con. What are they gonna do now? Vilify me even more? And that's another level up, so at level 7 I keep improving medicine. I freed up Ackerman and Gilbert since the NCR did back me up during this fight. And unlike the ungrateful lieutenant, the hostages actually thank us. On the way to the 188 trading post, Victor shows up once again.
Fancy meeting you here, friend.
What's up, man?
Yep, this is getting mighty embarrassing. People gonna start to talk.
Well, if they do, just point me in their direction. I'll mug them. In the 188, we meet Veronica. She dresses and slaps like a grandma. Most importantly, she's my ticket to avoid having an explosive collar around my neck. Before going to Heathen Valley, the arms merchant barters with me for nearly 2,000 caps. Shawty slays, and the bark scorpions are no match to the atrocious knife.
I'd like a large atomic shake and a double Brahmin burger. And easy on the agave sauce this time.
Paladin Ramos lets us wander the bunker, and I use that opportunity to steal their most valuable items. A bit of sleight of hand later, and I don't think the tin cans appreciated my magic. Hopefully they'll enjoy the barbecue, and luckily for me, their turrets didn't even hit me once. Outside, Veronica isn't too pleased.
Clearly you're determined to fight the Brotherhood. Well, you can add my name to your hit list because you're on your own.
Clearly I'm not, for I cannot fight something that no longer exists. Funny enough, she doesn't even aggro. I gave her a pokey, and when I see one of the grannies flying back, I fully joined the fight. Veronica will not come back to haunt us. Me, however, I'll still be having a few more unintentional convos with the grannies. I just wanted to loot her, Ruby. Until I saw her inventory, that is. And since we're here, might as well go and cause some chaos in Black Mountain. On the way, the centaurs gets obliterated. I get some more power armor sets to sell, and Mo didn't even put up a fight. In Black Mountain, instead of going around and putting myself on Annabelle's way, I'm just gonna go into the broadcast building through the fence, cause I can. I get Tabitha's room key, avoid the missile launcher, and even though there's a whole granny gang attacking Tabitha, she's dead set on coming after me. A tiny while later and she's down. And then I become a special edition puzzle. On the second attempt to get to the Night King Sniper, we tell them, respect your elders, or else, and that was the charm. I got Annabelle and became highly disappointed when I was reminded that Black Mountain's locked loot is just ammo. Something completely useless to this run. Alas, level 8 comes around. I keep improving my stimpaks through medicine and get the second rank of the toughness perk. And since we're here, hey, I didn't forget about Good Springs, there's just pretty much nothing else to loot. There's still something though, so before I raise some havoc, I trade with Chats, part Joe Cobb from his stuff boy, and I tell Ringo that Cobb won't be a problem anymore.
Thanks, I guess. Cobb wasn't the problem, though.
You can question my methods, but I did solve Ringo's problem. He will not have to worry about the powder gangers anymore. And speaking of which, yeah, dealing with Cobb was enough to get me vilified, but I don't really feel vilified. Also, we mug, baby. Leaving no witnesses is just part of the plan. So, in the NCR Correctional Facility, Dawes greets us with a rain of bullets. I don't think he got the memo. Dawes, everything you and your friends own is mine now, sweetie. And as the powder gangers were fighting for their lives, Myers was running like a little bitch. I put those foolish ambitions to rest, and the entrance's survivors started using explosives. Good thing that I've got plenty of doctor bags. In the cell block B, Carter becomes unable to protect the powder charge schematics. And in the main building, as I was looting, the grannies took care of pretty much everyone. Fortunately, I was still able to join in the fun and to be the one taking Eddie down. Level 9 was more of the same, and then I fast traveled near Freeside because we got a couple more factions to introduce ourselves to. On the way to Nellis, a couple raw hamburgers attacked us on sight. The move, but it's a cow. I cannot expect much. And since Wild Wasteland's activated, there's no point in visiting Phil's shack for Abilene. Here comes George, the boomer that's not really part of the boomers. He wants to make a bet. I want to mug him. I won. The bombardment almost made me go deaf, as if I needed that to shout like an old lady arguing with a grocery store cashier. Annoyed, I told the boomer guard at the gate that I needed to speak with the manager. And then I told the manager that I must speak with the owner. Raquel takes us to Mother Pearl. The Grannies spun in the way, so I get out of the conversation as soon as I can. I don't wanna stare at a hat. And turns out that Mother Pearl stared off these little shits, so guess what? Yeah, she's coming with as well. The boomers have such good loot, so many weapons, so many combat armors. I'm thinking we should gear up. Pearl interrupts me getting the snow globe, because why would a grandma get out of the way? She was here before us. And then my heart melts.
Hey there, lady.
This little bastard lost her teddy bear, Mr. Cuddles. We can't have that. And it's just in the hangar, so let's get it to Lindsay.
Thank you so much.
Anyways, this is the part where I start handing out combat armors. They say the kids are the future. Well, I'm about to make them the present, because there won't be anyone else standing. In the hangars, Loyal and Jack couldn't do anything against us. Whereas in the mess hall and munition storage, I oughta give props when props are due. I entered all like, give me the gun and I won't have to break your kneecaps. That armor, it's ours now. Then reality hit. The boomers stacked us against the wall. They even started getting the best of us. What followed suit was not a tactical retreat, but a strategic play. By going outside, not all of them came after us. We still did this in one go, but if we hadn't gone outside, we wouldn't have. So with the numbers advantage once again, one by one, both out and inside, every single one of them fell. A fuck ton of looting later, and I got lots of combat armors, none of which I'll equip Clara with. But we also got tons of ammo, I found a stealth boy, lots of mines, grenades, and different kinds of launchers. And I thought it would be funny if I gave Annabelle to Pearl, and missile launchers to, well, pretty much everybody. Raquel was still on our list, so she was the last target in Nellis. I then sold all the junk I could, and unfortunately, I only gave 5 missiles to each of the non-original mods muggers. I would later come to find out that these forced companions also spend ammo instead of it being infinite. Oh well. As I started the journey to Jacobstown, I noticed that the Grannies weren't following me anymore. Waiting made a couple spawn in, and as you can see here in the Wind's hideout, at least they all spawn in whenever I enter or leave interiors. An annoying bug that I really didn't need mid-run. As for Sammy and Pauline, they got mugged. I then looted the Griffin War's sacked caravan, avoiding the cazadors by sticking to the roads, and yeah, they're not tagging along.
You stupid-ass motherfucker!
As I'm waiting near Brooks Tumbleweed Ranch to see if I can get the Grannies to granny again, it's an NCR hit squad that shows up. To make things weirder, instead of giving me 3 days, they ask what I need and run off. Curiosity gets the best of me when I see them stop up the road, and I go on to investigate. They never gave me the warning. In fact, not one of those 4 fought back when I attacked them, and I killed them. All. When I got close to the alien encounter, I waited for the Grannies to spawn in, and was glad to at least see them go after the aliens when combat initiated. They took care of the captain. I knew one of them had gotten the alien blaster and its ammo since I didn't find it. That I'm fine with. And a couple mantises later we reach Jacobstown. Marcus greets us and Lily's awesome.
Jimmy! Little Jimmy! My, how you're grown up! So good of you to come visit your grandma.
Awesome and batshit insane. Will help her. In fact, when I first planned this run, I was just gonna go with mod smuggers and do Lily's quest. And while I don't know if it's the number of companions breaking thing, I don't know, man. Just gonna see if the game sorts itself out during her quest, and if not, I'll take matters into my own hands. I get the snow globe. Dr. Henry tasks us with finding the source for the Night Stalker stealth mutation going around here. I tell Lily to tag along, but before we get to the cave, Marcus also needs our help. Norton, a mercenary on behalf of the NCR, has showed up. The NCR is not too pleased with the Nightkin and super mutants over here. They want them gone. Now, I could just pay off Norton. Marcus will reimburse every single penny of it, but all bets are off. I'm the one who mugs, so we beat the ever-living crap out of them and go into Charleston Cave. Because of the enemies, the Grannies are finally behaving. We gang up on the Night Stalkers, and the source of the mutation is a chewed stealth boy on a chewed Nightkin. We inform Dr. Henry. The next step of the quest is for Lily to help the doctor study the effects of the stealth boys, since the Nightkin get highly addicted to it. I see that Lily truly wants to help, so we encourage her, and everything keeps going to shit. Dr. Henry suddenly flees. Lily does the thing. Calamity acknowledges it. Then she too starts running. Henry's chilling upstairs, at least the quest is moving along. Keen wants stealth boys or he'll attack everyone, and I tell him no.
I knew humans could never be reasonable. I knew it. Stupid humans. I'll kill you.
He didn't. We killed him, and his two buddies. And so the first of Lily's quests is completed, and this is the part where we would have decided whether Lily keeps on testing with the doctor or not. And I say would've, cause much akin to Marcus, Lily, too, simply won't talk to me. To fix this issue, I knew I had to Google a solution. The first website I opened asked me for cookies, but they'll never get my recipe. I also tried dismissing the companions through the companion dismissal terminal in the Gunrunner's Vendortron stand. That did not work, and eventually I found out how to force dismiss most of the gals. I have decided to only keep mod smuggers from here on out. Fortunately, that did fix the issue. They started coming with, again, don't know why, it just worked. And obviously, before dismissing them all, I made sure to get all of their loot. And that's when I saw that one of them have... Oh baby! Nice! And hey, no witnesses. Pearl, Ruby, Daisy, Old Lady Gibson, all met their demise. And so did Lily, who didn't fight back. Still pissed with Jacobstown, I made sure that Marcus and his mutants were taught a lesson they'd never remember. Oh baby, not even the Brahmin get to breathe. And yeah, that's the unique weapon that I'm gonna go with. Calamity discovered that her name was prophetic all along. And with Jacobstown's population having turned to 0, I set my sights on the last faction we need to meet. On the way to Red Rock Canyon, I used the Fiends as a therapy session. Gotta let the anger out. Wrath creates wrinkles, and we don't need any more of those. Cook got cooked. Driver Nafai drove off into the afterlife, and Violet, she saw what real violence is. In the canyon, the first thing I do is to get the free turbo and medics the cans had laying around. In the lab, Jack and Diane are nothing but a taste of what Papa Khan and everyone else within the Longhouse would go through. I was already vilified by the Khans when I came in, so... all that happened, besides mugging and looting, was becoming shunned by the Legion when Skarl ceased to be. With more than enough caps to not just pass the cap check, but actually be able to open up my own casino if I so choose, the Securitrons let us enter the strip.
Howdy, partner.
Victor said hi, and Billy was supposed to have jokes. Instead, he's having a staring competition with no one.
Hey, come on, lady. I'm trying to put on a show here.
But are you though? Next stop, Vault 21's gift shop. I pickpocket Sarah's room pass card, get yet another snow globe, and the slaughter begins. I would like to see Mr. House's reaction to an extremely empty strip. In Michelangelo's workshop, I leveled up 3 times in a row. That was weird, but I'll take it. I maxed medicine, start putting points into sneak, and took the Super Slam and Bloody Mess perks. After clearing the second location, I went to the embassy, where the ambassador's fate was no different than everyone else's. If the NCR feels like they can send hit squads, I too know how to play that game. And at this point, even the Securitrons are getting a taste of my Super Sledge. I got the Lord Death in-game achievement, level 13 came around. Billy Knight learned not to mess up with my jokes, and the Boulevard Station was also devoid of movement by the time I was done. Next up, come the casinos. Ain't no way in hell that I'm getting parted from oh baby. And as I'm making the rounds, I see Joanna.
Well, what do we have here, huh? Let me guess. You've heard about the mistress who makes all your fantasies come true.
You know what? Carrie Clara does need to chill. As I was getting ready for the most predictable game of rock, paper, scissors, the other grannies were having none of it. They reminded me that our sole purpose is to mug, and I obliged. Big Sal and the Omertas are no more, and in the Ultralux I get to do it all over again. Heck, Gunderson and his bodyguards were caught by surprise, and for some reason so was Mortimer. My dude, I cleared up your whole casino's entrance, and you didn't even notice. Are you stupid? Everyone in this casino just maybe, because not only was Marjorie also not aggroed, but the gamblers weren't even reacting to what was unfolding right before their very eyes. This got me to level 14, more points to sneak, and I got the Fight the Power perk. In the tops, I once again refused to part ways with my babies, and the greeter, Swank, the dealers and the gamblers all met their ends. Meanwhile, Benny's just staring at a wall.
What in the goddamn...
Hey, Benny, when you shot me, you ran off so fast I never got your name.
You making a pass at me, sister? Because I'm out of your league.
I'm saying, I dig you.
I hear dig from you, babe, and all I can think of is a shovel.
Fair enough. I could make him think I'd help him, but nope. Mugged. With the platinum chip finally on my possession, we go on to visit his room. Level 15 catches up to me, and over here we find the whole Securitron that cannot say no. Unfortunately, I was unable to convince Yes Man to agree to pair up with Mr. New Vegas. Well, if the television's not gonna play Family Feud, then I have no use for it. Outside, Vulpes shows up, all suited up, inviting me to go over to the fort. Kaiser wants to meet us. Does the Legion really think that I'm gonna become their new assassin? Nah, mugged. I'm also pretty sure that Mr. House is going to expect loyalty. Well, his Securitrons are getting mugged too. Victor became scrap metal. The casino floor became a scrapyard. Jane didn't even get to ask me to add the snow globes to Mr. House's collection, and as for Robert Edwin himself, he just ghosted me. Not even one new line of dialogue telling me how mad or disappointed he was. So, knowing I wouldn't be able to get the last snow globe from the cocktail lounge, I used the platinum chip to get into the control room and to take everyone's favorite cyborg mummy out of his pod. I hacked into his system to force his Securitrons to play elevator music on loop, showed him Ma Bebe, and we got back to Cottonwood Cove. Aurelius a Phoenix, what a poetic name. So I figured I'd see if I can get him to be born again. Apparently, no one in the camp noticed that they can now ask for a promotion, and as for Lucullas, we are strong, independent grannies. We can row the raft ourselves. In Fortification Hill, and as we're dealing with the lots, I make sure to get Sergeant Eddie. Unfortunately, I will not be able to give it back to Melody, but hey, it's the intention that counts. In the tent, I actually needed a couple tries. Lucius and the Praetorian Guards were worthy foes. Kaiser never got to fulfill his lifelong dream of feeling the ground shake. He still got a huge migraine, although one that didn't have Lucius become temporarily in charge. The throne suits us quite well, but the show must go on. Like I said, Melody simply won't open up dialogue for me to give her the teddy bear, and any Legion member found calling women degenerate was immediately hit with a metaphorical steel-plated handbag. As we clear the courtyard, one guy is so unhinged, he'll stop at nothing to get his gains. In the weather monitoring station, the last 3 guards can't do much for their cause. Melody becomes the sole survivor. Opening up the way to the Securitron vault brings me to level 16. I put the points into sneak and get the Action Girl perk. The Protectrons and the turrets were a breeze to go through, especially since the turrets are so much weaker than the Brotherhood ones, and looking around we see one beautiful Securitron army just standing by, and you know what? We're getting close to retirement. I wouldn't mind sitting back on the top spool, having a couple drinks, playing blackjack, as the Securitrons do the mugging for us. Yes, man? More like yes, dear. I changed my mind. he's a cookie. With the entire plan in motion, all that's left is to install him in the mainframe. Oh, and this right here is the reason why you cannot bring companions into the penthouse. Securitrons are still allied with Mr. House's in-game faction. Yes Man slowly starts to do his thing. The Securitrons just start shooting at us. Once he settles in, we go through the unskippable Securitron demonstration, and then he tasks us with installing an override chip in the El Dorado substation. On the way, this time the NCR Ranger hit squad's actually trying to hit us. We still mug them though, and their buddies at the substation. So with the chip installed, Yesteryear tells us that the Legion has been marching up to the Second Battle of Hoover Dam, and we're ready.
Flower.
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 Flower!
John?
Give me back my teeth or I'll kick you in the dick.
Gotta go. It's Hoover, ma'am.
Flower.
And I tried to give the rolling pin a chance, I really did. It even seemed to work well against the Great Khans, but then came the Kenturians. Well, I still wanna give it a go. Fortunately, the other Grannies have proper weapons. And I wasn't expecting to beat a Kenturian out of the dam and into the water, but I did. In the offices, the NCR heavy troopers go down quite easily. I installed the second override chip, this time to grant control of the dam to Yesteryear. And fuck yeah, I do want to activate the Securitron army. I'm gonna make sure that every single NCR soldier surrenders their paycheck to funds. The Mojave Social Security. Free healthcare, just for the granny gang though. And after going through the east side of the dam, we finally reach the Legate's camp. Over here, I'm gonna show Linneus that problems are solved with violence, not words. After I take down the Brahmin to prepare dinner, that is. And then I take every single camp that I possibly can.
An envoy of Vegas, yet you carry yourself for battle. If so, you cannot truly be of that city of cowards.
Shut up, purse snatcher, and take off that stupid mask. This isn't a Halloween special. Embarrassingly for Linneus, a bit of VOTS was enough to bring him really close to dying. Then he started running away. Cherry on top, he didn't even make it to the gates. All that's left is, what's his name? No, Oliver. He does the slowest of walks, goes over pretty much every single swear word in the English language, the cigar is a lie, and I do not kill him straight away. No, I force him to sit through a 3-hour story about the good old days and the way things used to be. He begs for mercy. I mug him anyway. And can you beat Fallout New Vegas with an army of grannies? Of course you can. As always, you can check the playlist for more challenges and the channel for more videos. If you can and want to support my silliness, click on that join button. And I want to give a special thanks to Directional Owl, to Causal Loop, to The Brickmaker, and to Jon Walker for playing along with my goofy gag. Cause hey, I can buy myself flour! Be sure to check their channels. These challenges take a ton of time to do, so if you like this one, I'm sure you will not regret giving them a chance. I also want to give a big shout out to Steve Whittle and to Jon Walker for their support of the channel. And to you! So, thank you so much for watching, I hope you enjoyed, I hope I'll see you on the next one. And I hope you have a good one. Bye!
And I guess I'll see you around. We accomplished a lot together. It was fun. Take care.
And so the courier who had cheated death in the cemetery outside Good Springs cheated death once again, and the Mojave Wasteland was forever changed. The courier, with the aid of Yes Man, drove both the Legion and the NCR from Hoover Dam, securing New Vegas's independence from both factions. With Mr. House out of the picture, part of the Securitron army was diverted to the Strip to keep order. Any chaos on the streets was ended. Quickly. Chaos became uncertainty, then acceptance with minimal loss of life. New Vegas assumed its position as an independent power in the Mojave. Preferring neither the best of the NCR nor the worst of the Legion, the courier was the woman responsible for a truly independent New Vegas. She had removed Mr. House from power over the Strip and broken the influence of the NCR and Caesar's Legion in the Mojave Wasteland.
Though some super mutants in Nightkin continued to journey to the legendary Utopia, they found little trace of its existence. Some eventually found their way to Jacobstown, but many wandered off into the wastes, confused and disheartened.
Without organized leadership, the remaining boomers slowly drifted away, leaving Nellis Air Force Base to be flooded by prospectors and scavengers. All of the boomers' accumulated knowledge quickly scattered, and their existence slowly faded from memory.
Buried beneath tons of rubble, the Mojave chapter of the Brotherhood of Steel was no more. Those few who were outside the Hidden Valley bunker when it was destroyed settled into new lives, or headed west to find a new chapter to join.
At odds with leadership over the Brotherhood's future, Veronica looked to the Mojave wasteland for an answer both she and they could live with. But the answer would never come, and the dangers of the world that had left the Brotherhood of Steel behind would eventually claim her life.
After the courier ensured New Vegas remained free, the followers found that independent Vegas was even more unstable and violent than before. Old Mormon Fort became excessively burdened by the influx of patients, struggling to provide even the most basic of services.
With New Vegas's independence formally declared, Goodsprings thrived. More travelers stopped by Goodsprings on their way to and from the Strip, and the locals grew prosperous from the traffic.
With Jacobstown's leadership destroyed, the remaining super mutants and Nightkin of the West scattered across the wasteland. Jacobstown withered away, its death going unnoticed by the rest of the Mojave.
Lily's long life finally came to a close in the Mojave wasteland. As the life faded from her, her last thoughts were of her grandchildren.
With the king dead and most of their gang slain by the courier, the remaining kings fled the area, never to be heard from again.
Despite their vigilance against potential attacks by the Legion, the citizens of Novak were no match for the courier. The motel and Dinky the dinosaur were left vacant, a rare stop at best for travelers along Highway 95.
After Hoover Dam, the leaderless powder gangers at the correctional facility vanished into the wastes, leaving the prison empty. The correctional facility became another abandoned ruin in the wasteland, its carcass occasionally picked over by enterprising prospectors.
Armed with a wide array of improvised explosives and stolen weapons, the Vault 19 powder gang tormented the Mojave wasteland for years. Citizens of the NCR were favorite targets, and they always suffered the worst fates.
Prim, already torn apart by powder gangers, was dealt a killing blow by the courier. Though prospectors pick through the remains of the town from time to time, no one reestablishes it as a settlement.
And so the courier's road came to an end, for now. In the new world of the Mojave wasteland, fighting continued, blood was spilled, and many lived and died just as they had in the old world. Because war never changes.